Good evening, YouTube. HeirofCarthage here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. I'm still running behind on getting the next Itza campaign up. I'm putting a lot of work into the next episode because I've had to play through a whole lot of grind. It's left me without a lot of time the last couple nights to record, but I did want to fit this in for you because I thought this was a pretty fun battle to watch. Gotrek and Felix came to us not long back, and they have been fun to see ever since. This is going to be a Chaos versus Dwarves with an interesting twist here. There's no armor-piercing infantry in this dwarf army. There are 3 Iron Breakers up front, one of which is the Norgrimling's Iron Breakers. Then there are 4 Longbeards for protection along the flanks, just standard Longbeards. So very high leadership, very high armor, but Chaos is excellent when it comes to armor-piercing infantry and can certainly take the fight to the dwarves. But here's the real meat of this army. Grombrindle next to Felix next to Gotrek. This is going to be an absolute nightmare for Chaos to deal with, unless they can just pile Chosen with great weapons all over these units. Now, the Iron Breakers are going to do what they do well, which is get out and cause some pretty extreme damage to the units that are charging them. However, I don't love the mileage of Iron Breakers versus Marauders. Obviously, you can see when they get their satchel charges off, yeah, they're going to do fine. But over here, this Iron Breaker is up against a Chaos Warrior with great weapon. There's Chaos Warriors with great weapons over here, and Chaos is plowing in with Gore Beast Chariots, some Mirror Guard, more Warriors with great weapons. Sigvald plunges in, and then there's an Exalted Hero soaring around with some Aspiring Champions in the back. Now, the only pick from Chaos that I don't like is the Aspiring Champions. That is not a good pick versus the Dwarves. They have 25% magic resistance, which means your Aspiring Champions do little, if anything, in that fight. They do last a while, but look at this, how quickly the Iron Breakers turn back the Marauders with great weapons, no problem. However, the Warriors with great weapons are not their lousy Marauder counterparts, and they're not giving in that easily. Let's go take a look at what's going on over here. We've got the Dwarf Leadership Corps right now consisting of Felix and Grombrindle taking on those chariots. And over here, you've got the Slayer, Gotrek, taking on a nasty beast here. This is the Exalted Hero of Chaos on his Manticore going after Gotrek, and I'm kind of surprised this Exalted Hero survived as long as he did. Gotrek easily cuts him off his mount, as he is the Slayer, but he's not done yet. There is a chariot and a sorcerer over here too. Gotrek still has grudges to settle. So he's going to plow in, start trying to get a hold of that chariot. The chariot's going to rout. This leaves Gotrek just piled in with infantry and Sigvald hot on his tail. Now, Sigvald is going to be tough. He is a very good duelist, and Gotrek doesn't have armor. So if Sigvald gets a hold of him, it is not probably going to be a fight that Sigvald loves, but Gotrek's not going to get left alone. Felix is going to come in. Look at these two pretty boys going head-to-head, both with the huge sword. But look at that Sigvald against Grombrindle and Felix here. Where did Gotrek head off to? I'm trying to keep track of him while we're all in here too. He's so short, it's easy to lose him. Looks like he's over here tied up against the Sorcerer, so he's taken down an Exalted Hero and a Sorcerer, and Sigvald gets absolutely crapped on by Grombrindle and Felix. No big surprise there. The pretty boy flees in the face of his foes, and Gotrek able to easily help slay the infantry that was there. When these 3 get together, it is, if you don't have the right tools to deal with them, it is brutal. Because the healing that goes on with these units, if you can't deal with them properly, they are going to put an absolute stunted beatdown on you. All the while, Felix is writing poetry about how you got beat like a rented mule. I mean, it is bad when these 3 get together and you don't have the tools to deal with it, unless you're them. However, you can see that the old adage that dwarves are very fast over short distances doesn't exactly hold true, as Sigvald's long and handsome legs pump him away from Gotrek and Felix. Felix just kind of sitting back with a hand on the hilt of his sword. Grombrindle, of course, is absolutely bonkers, and he decides to go over here and get involved in a whole other fight. The man is like Luther Harkon levels of crazy. Or I shouldn't say the man, he's the dwarf. Anyway, Felix is going to go help him out. That leaves Gotrek alone in a foot race with Sigvald. But before we get to that, here's the fight in the background, but I figured this is a moment you all want to see. Is Sigvald faster than Gotrek? It's not looking like it. Gotrek's tired of chasing him, apparently. Oh boy, we gotta see if he catches him again. I know you all are like, the whole battle's back there, but this is really an important part of the battle, folks. I want to know whether he can actually catch this dude. Slayers are supposed to be fast for a dwarf, right? You can see in the background the dwarf infantry is getting thoroughly beat down by the Chaos Warriors. That is no terrible surprise, and obviously we'll get back to what's going on there. You can do it, Gotrek. We believe. Run! Run, Gotrek, run! Oh man, this guy's slow. This is definitely one of the downfalls. He is immensely powerful, but he is also very slow. And when units rout, they get faster. I wish I knew exactly what's going on in the code, but I swear they get faster when they rout. It's got to be a way of, I don't know. Like, I honestly think it may have been built in to help the AI get away with units that it shouldn't. Look at this! CA fixed this! Does he even catch him? Now I'm just like curious. I gotta fast forward here. Okay, he does catch. Wow, Sigvald came back from routing too, and just gets wrecked. So Gotrek takes him completely out of the fight. All right, now while that chase scene was going on, the Mirror Guard were here, holding their own against the Longbeards, and then really the big problem here was the Warriors with great weapons. The Warriors with great weapons, they're just very, very good against the Dwarf army. Now, the one thing the Dwarves have going for them, Ironbreakers have massive melee defense. I think it's like almost 70. Yeah, on top of 125 armor. No, it is 82 melee defense. Holy crap, I was way off. That's the Norgrimling Ironbreakers, though. The normal one over here with just, well, these all have chevrons, except for, yeah, they all have chevrons at this point. So it's hard to tell exactly what they start with, but I want to say it's in like the high 60s, low 70s before they get the chevrons. Anyway, it's just incredible melee defense. So even though they're not great at fighting these units, sometimes they can last so long in combat that they'll still pull their weight. And they can be quite good in certain fights. So you can see the Dwarf Infantry just being Dwarf Infantry here, which is stubborn. Very, very stubborn. They do not want to give in whatsoever. The Mirror Guard provide that, I believe they provide, I thought they provided Guardian. If they do, it's not showing up from this view, but in any case, they're fighting, you know, relatively well. Longbeards aren't going to be good against them, but Mirror Guard aren't necessarily good against that either. These warriors with great weapons are actually being worn down by the Ironbreakers. They've only got 54 kills, whereas the Ironbreakers have 160. Then the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers at 164. Those Ironbreakers, I know they got a lot of kills on the Chaos Marauders, but still, they are paying dividends. And you look at the kills on the Chaos Warriors, good stuff, but not tremendous. So, just goes to show you here what can be done, even with units where you don't expect it. Now you're going to get Grombrindle and Felix headed back into combat, and the Chaos Warriors just lost Sigvald as well, or at least I think they're about to. Yeah, they just lost, or he's still being chased out there. So this fight now, the Chaos Warriors are going to get surrounded. Their leadership's already starting to fade because apparently they can hear in the distance the screams of Sigvald as he is put down by Gotrek, the Mighty Slayer. And with Felix jumping into here with his armor piercing, and then Grombrindle headed in, the Chaos Warriors just can't take the heat and are forced out of the Dwarf Kitchen by the Iron Bakers? Oh gosh, the lame. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get you all cringing there, and it's probably working. So look at the performance here. That is some tremendous effort on the part of these Norgrimling's Ironbreakers. I know that a fair amount of those kills came from Chaos Marauders, but still, though, I mean, that's pretty awesome, the way they got some work done. Obviously, Longbeard's going to do nothing in this fight other than hold their ground, but that's all they needed to do here. You can see Grombrindle untouched, Felix basically untouched, because of the healing that goes on when they're in combat. So this is a risky combination. If someone calls your bluff on it, you can get absolutely wrecked. But if someone brings in an all melee army like this, and you've got these guys, they're in trouble. They're in trouble because it's going to take a heck of a lot to out melee this crew here. So don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate it. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will be back with you all some more content soon, and I will see you then. Sorry I'm a little behind this week. I say I'm behind. I missed one video. I missed one, but I feel really behind. Anyway, I'll be back at normal soon. I will see you then.